What's up, team? You guys, this is going to be amazing. 5 things. There's a lot more, but these are 5 really good ones. One of you guys on the channel asked, so hopefully you're digging this. 5 things I wish I would have known my very first year of guitar playing, right? So let's go through all 5. They're bookmarked. There's going to be 2 charts. Grab those. I'm going to show you close-ups. Number 5 is by far the most important. Number 6 is going to be like a little bonus. It's just a tool you can use, and I'm going to show you how to glue it all together. All right. Number 1, and here's the chart. This is linked in the Dropbox down below. Grab it from there. All right, the major scale. This is the key of G. And here's why this is important, because, okay, this is the pattern, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, just like you see. But I circled the first 6 notes, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. But before I get to that, the way I was shown the major scale, which is cool, was like this. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or the fingering being 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Root note on the low E. And then the same fingering pattern, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, with the root note on the A. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Which is totally cool. But there was a disconnect there, because if I would have been shown this, I would show that I'm showing you this right now. So this is what I would be teaching people in my room right now if they were here the first week, okay? G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now, the reason I would do this is the blueprint for everything is the major scale. The major scale is your blueprint for everything, and here's why. Because you're going to want to know the chords in the major, from the major scale. The key. So whatever key you're in, you can do it. So G, look at this. Let's do a close-up. So G, if this is the pattern, those are just root notes or single notes, right? So this is the root for G major bar chord. So if this is the second note, let's do an A minor. 2 chord is minor. And we just move up, the 3 chord is minor. And then down below, say, this is the 4th note, C, that's major, just do a little power chord. Then the 5th note's D, power chord. And then the 6th note, E, which is E minor. Now let's go back to why that's important, because you want to know at the very least, okay, to have a basic understanding before you branch out to harder concepts, that the 1 chord is major, the 2 chord is minor, the 3 chord is minor, the 4 chord is major, the 5 chord is major, and the 6 chord is minor. Because if you're a beginner, instead of playing in these open chord shapes, which is totally fine, that's always going to be home too, you can start connecting the dots for yourself. So maybe I'm a total beginner. Now that I know this information, I could go, oh, G's the 1 chord. Oh, and if I go to the 6th chord, I'll play like a little minor. So you get a little chord progression going. Down to the 5 chord, down to the 4 chord. Right? So then you're not just stuck in cowboy chord strumming land forever. There's nothing wrong with it, but now you just have more in your catalog. All right, so you guys grab that chart, but here's the most important part, is that pattern can just be moved to any key. So if I wanted to move it up to, let's say, C, and learn all the chords in the key of C major, same thing, I'd play the pattern. Shank. So C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. So by default, you are just teaching yourself all the chords in every major key. You will not be stopped if you learn that. All right, let's go to number 2. And if you are confused or have anything to add, drop it in the comments, all right? Number 2, this one is super important. Let's just stick to the key of G since we did that. Now, this is that triads live inside of bar chords. If you would have told that to me early on in my playing career, I would have understood what bar chords are, because for some reason, Guitar 101, we always default to the same thing, the same pentatonic pattern your first couple weeks, bar chords, open chords, but there's no connection as to what a triad is. A triad is a 3-note chord, right? So if I played this G major bar chord like you see in the chart, I highlighted one of the triad shapes that lives inside the bar chord. Now, where I would have gotten confused, and you tell me, you could be confused about this right now. There's 6 notes, right? Now, if you don't know how to make up a G major chord, you're not really gonna know the notes, right? So a G major chord's GBD. That's the triad. These are some of these notes repeat. So if you look at this chord, there's 3 G's, there's 2 D's, and there's a B. But we just want to strip it down to the GBD right here. GBD. See that? So I highlighted that for you. And at the end, I'm going to link a video to all the major and minor triads on all 4 string sets. You don't need to know what that means yet. If you do, great. If not, no worries. And I made charts for you, and you can move it to any key. You learn all those, and you're going to be like, your playing's going to be on fire. El fuego, all right? Now, let's just move up here. Now, based on what I just taught you, we should know that that this B minor, that's the 3 chord. Now, what lives inside of that? B minor triad, right? So B, D, F sharp. Now, I didn't even know that triads existed. I honestly can't even tell you when I first discovered it, or I'm the kind of person too that like, I want to know. But what you don't know, you don't know. So I'm like pretty much consuming music every day, my entire life. All right, so here's a playing example you could do with this. So a beginner might just know the bar chords. They might just go like this, G to B minor their whole life. Okay, well not anymore because I'm helping you, okay? But what if they did this? What if they're like, oh, I want to do an intro. Let's do the G triad to the B minor triad. So, doesn't that sound beautiful? Bar chord, triad. Bar chord, triad. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to show you guys. The main key to this, number 2, is knowing that things live inside of other things. And I could show you so many more. In fact, I have many videos on this channel, and there's lots more to come. All right, let's move on to number 3, and both those charts are down below. Grab them. All right, number 3 is good. We're gonna segue right into triads, okay? We're gonna shift keys. You guys that have been on this channel, or if you're new, I do a lot of videos on triads because they are so important. Let me show you why. So let's just do this. Let's do the close-up. The key is C. I'm going to show you C, E, G, 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 C, E, G. Okay? That's 4 string sets. Those are all 1, 3, 5s. Okay? There's 8 more, though. That's why you're going to watch my playlist. Now let's just do A minor. Okay? That's the relative minor to C. So A, C, E, 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 A, C, E. Okay? Now, I have charts for all those, so go grab them. Now, if my teacher would have shown me triads, this is how my head would have put it together. Because all I knew at this point was probably the open chord C. Let's say if I wanted to do C to A minor, I probably would have gone like this. C to A minor open. Or I might have done C power chord to like A minor bar chord, or maybe C bar chord to A minor bar chord. I wish I could go back in time, but if I had known triads, instead of doing this progression like this, C to A minor, C to A minor, which sounds cool, there's nothing wrong with that. What if I would have known I could have done the triads on the E, A, D string set, and it's just a different flavor? That's all music is your musicality is making a decision on the flavor or the direction or the route you want to take to get the sounds in your head. So what if I went... That's C triad to A minor triad. What if I did it on this string set? C to A minor triad. Or what if I did this C triad to this A minor triad? And the only reason I'm presenting it to you guys this way is because I've been doing this as year 3. This month is going into year 3 of this channel. And I've interacted with thousands of you, so I have enough data or information from your questions to understand that you're always asking, well, how are you doing that? I'm showing you right now. It's like a lot. I'm showing you some of my pathways, all right? I didn't have these pathways in the beginning. So if you're in your first couple of years or stuck in a plateau, take some of this information I'm giving to you and run with it. All right. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4 is this. What is this called? This is called a pick, or as some of you say, a plectrum, all right? Now, many of you, and drop in the comments, be honest if this has happened to you, we're going to get pigeonholed by ourselves, or we're just not shown that we shouldn't just play with the pick or just with our fingers. We should do a combination of both. And here's why. Is you're going to hear a song, or you're going to be sitting there with an acoustic by yourself, And if you've played with a pick for your first 10 years of playing and never really used your fingers, I guarantee you're going to hear something that's going to want to make you get rid of the pick, or vice versa, pick up a pick. If I had to pick one, if I were to say you were going to pick one and just run with it, it would be a finger picking all day. Because if you think about it, let's just get rid of the pick for a minute. You have like your thumb, which can play like bass lines on some of the notes. You can get very percussive. Have you guys, anyone in here seen some of those pick and flick videos I do? Which I'm going to show you in just a minute. So you can get some really killer percussive stuff. So for example, let's take a C to G to A minor bar chord, and then I'll hit the triad inside. See what I did there? All right, now, if I did my thumb, I could do this pick and flick thing. I could do like a little bass line going on the E and A strings, and I could flick and get a little percussive thing going. So if I could go... And I'm not saying there's anything wrong. You could sit there and play with the pick. It's all your form of expression, your musicality. I could play a pick and go... You know, some of you guys are going to do that hybrid picking thing where you hold the pick and you flick. I suck at this because I don't do it a lot. What I'll do is I'll shift the pick up there like that. You see that? On the fly, and that's a whole nother video I could do. In fact, I did do one. I need to do a better one. Where you pick, you could go... Did you even see me shifting playing with the pick? I'm playing fingers. Pick. Fingers. Pick. Fingers. See, I had the pick the whole time, but sometimes I just like to go free flow. So here's one more. Let's have one more fun one with this, and then we're going to go into number 5, which is by far the most important forever. Without question, there's no argument. So, or maybe you could argue with me. We could have a discussion, a discussion, right? All right? We could agree to disagree, but let's agree. All right, so watch. If I did A minor, C, open chords, listen to what you can do with your fingers. So it is... See, there's so many cool things because these are all like little drummers. All right, you get that? All right. Speaking of little drummers, we're going to go into number 5. It's right here. Rhythm. R-H-Y-T-H-M. Did I spell that right? Rhythm is everything, okay? And the reason I bring this up is because I remember the first song I ever tried to learn, and when you're young, this happens to you, or maybe when you're a beginning player, no matter your age. You guys tell me what you think of this. I tried to learn One by Metallica. Would I have all the finger tapping? Which I suck at, but I had all these crazy fast things and cool sweep licks, and there was no way. And it wasn't going to sound good because I didn't have a rhythmic sense. So it kind of dawned on me one day. I had this aha moment where I just like woke up one day and I was like, man, rhythm is everything, right? Because rhythm it's your phrasing, it's really your sound, it's where you leave space, it's what music is, right? Like if you put notes on a musical staff, you know, when you read like tablature, you're not seeing the rhythm. You're not seeing, although they try and mimic it, but you're not seeing like 8th notes, 16th notes, dotted quarter notes, stuff like that. So rhythm is everything. So what you need to do is really focus on getting your rhythm tight. These two hands, I look at them more like being a drummer. So you need to do things where if your rhythmic sense is off, definitely play with a metronome, okay? But your ultimate goal is to get to a point where you can flow and it just sounds good musically, whether you're playing a note or not. So if I just take my hand and wrap it around the neck, and in this case, I'll do something, this is something you can try. So let's take an A minor pentatonic scale. I'll hit some of the notes out of there. I'm gonna get this hand going. I'm just gonna let it go, and I'm gonna get a good flow going. Now, I'm not playing any notes. Now Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding notes out of the scale. And there's going to be a lot of muting that goes on too. So muting is that combination of muting out the strings and then using this hand to kind of clamp down with the palm muting. So it's like a dance, right? So okay, that's just one idea. Or you could sit there and do offbeats. So like eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Again, now I'm playing with the pick. Let's go back to what I said in number 4, which was your fingers. Come up with your own rhythm. Okay, you guys have seen videos too where I've done things where I take you from, like, let's say a C open chord all the way up here to this C triad. And the reason I do that on purpose is to show you if you're falling off the tracks, your rhythmic flow is not solid enough. So just work on your rhythms. I saw a great exercise using 16th notes. So if you don't know how to count a 16th note, it's 1 E and A. So just think of it as you're cutting a quarter note into fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and A. Right? So you could hit on the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and get those really tight, okay? Go slow. And then you could hit on the 1 E. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and okay? And then you could go like this. 1 E and 2 E and 1 sorry, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and okay, you could hit on the and then you could hit on the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and just do little things like that, okay? And the reason I think you want to get your rhythmic flow super solid too is I get asked this all the time. Let's say I do this little triad lick one more time. So like C, G, A minor. When you have a really solid rhythmic flow, then you can start spicing it up with like little fills. So if I did a bar of C, a bar of G, 2 bars of A minor, then I could do like a little fill. But if my rhythm or my flow isn't solid or my little drummers are not cooperating, then it's gonna fall apart. So let's see. Shank I hit there, I just did a C sharp, which is not in the key of A minor, but that's jazz, right? So you guys see, but you just keep the rhythmic flow going. So sit there and come up with little exercises. Just practice that, okay? Because eventually, if you're not playing with a metronome or a loop or in your DAW on your computer, you just want to develop a very solid internal rhythm. And it's so fun when you start adding all these other elements I'm showing, and like even like these, like this triad thing I showed you earlier. Watch this. All right, and if you start to fall or sway off the tracks like we all do, we're humans. Push, pull, that's okay. Just try and keep it solid. You just don't want to ever stop and fall apart. That's the only time anyone will ever really notice. Like, let's say you're performing by yourself, like an acoustic gig. People will only notice unless they're musicians, because we're all so critical, but let's be cool to each other. Like, they won't know. You're only going to get noticed if you stop. So just practice your rhythm skill. Number 5 will be always the number 1 most important thing. So go back and start analyzing where are you as a rhythm player. All right, so number 6 is just an important tool. So I've got like a bunch of guitar pedals back here and around the room, but I wish my teacher would have told me, or teachers would have told me, to get a looper pedal as your very first pedal, because you can start ear training, you can get your rhythm, you see how your rhythm is, you know, your rhythm's gotta be so solid just to get the loop in there so it flows, otherwise you'll feel like a glitch if it's off. So listen, this is just a C, G to A minor like we were doing. And then you can practice. What if you wanna do those triads? Watch this. Okay, so for example, then I could get rid of the pick and do the finger picking thing. Like what if I wanna, there's one rhythm guitar player, what if I wanna flick with my fingers? That was finger picked, that loop. And if you don't have a looper, look, I didn't have a cell phone back in the day when I started, so just record for like a minute, just pick a loop, not even a loop, a chord progression, record it and do something like this. Watch this. All right, so you guys get the point. So you guys see, those are things that if I would have known much sooner in my playing career rather than later, it would have helped me tremendously. So I'll continue making new videos on here. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new. Grab both charts down below. You guys drop comments. Someone commented that they wanted to see this kind of video, so I made it. I'm gonna keep doing that. This channel's for you guys. It's our channel. So we're about to hit 15K, so huge shout out to all of you. Drop Team Jellyfish in the comments. Drop your favorite sea creature. Definitely tell us where you're watching from. I think that's fascinating that we're all connected and geography does not matter anymore. All right, so remember, only you can stop you. You will not stop. You will keep going. I will see you in the next video. Later.